Hey kids, welcome back to week 3. It's day 1. Rex here. Your reflection question for the day: if you discovered a deserted island where you could create your own society, what would be the first rule you make? Remember to be thoughtful and write 2 to 3 complete sentences. See you later. Stick! Oh, Charlie, come on. Oh, I've got my track spikes on. Today's Spirit Week. High jump coach over at Woodbury. And track spikes usually only have the spikes on the front, on the balls of your feet, but high jumping spikes have them on the heels too, because you're going to be generating a lot of speed, and then you have a curve, and you need to be able to grip on those heels, otherwise they'll spin out. So I was excited. I thought I'd get into the spirit of spring. It's about 57 degrees out. I'm filming this on Saturday morning. I've got my coffee, and I'm glad to be here. It's a beautiful day. I better fill that up first. All right, don't forget, Rex's reflection question is daily. All right, I've got 6 agenda items. 1 is going to be talking about reading quizzes. 2, talking about your assignments. I've got about 52% completion rate, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what Schoology gradebook looks like. 3, I'll be talking about my daily videos. 4, talking about our show and tell. I've got a slideshow for our show and tell. And then 5, I'm going to be just talking about the Spirit Week this week and getting selfies for us to give out and send it out onto our school website. So if you're interested, I know Mr. Adi's been doing a great job with the yearbook. We're also collecting photos for Spirit Week. So you got an email and message out. Your family's also got a phone call. So hopefully you're all participating. I know I am. I'm having fun too. All right. I've got a joke for you today. What's the best kind of ship? Friendship. All right, our agenda, back to our agenda, reading quizzes. Don't forget, in our distance learning folder, the link to reading quiz is live. You no longer need a passcode. You need to complete 5, not 7 any longer for trimester 3. So make sure you're doing that. If there is no reading quiz, message me in Schoology or send me an email. I'll tell you what to do. 3, our daily videos. You need to watch these. I see some students seem to only be getting the information or doing the Rex reflection and then stopping the video. I continue to talk. I give you information relevant to the day's lessons, the activities or quizzes that you'll be interacting with. So I explain some of that information. I give you updates about school, about how to interact with me in this class. So make sure you're watching the whole video as well as the read aloud as well. You can read and quiz for Bears of the Ice once we're finished. We will be finishing that up pretty soon. So make sure you're listening to that as well. The show and tell. I got to be careful. I've got tile, and these things are slippery if you're not on turf or the track. All right, show and tell. We got Lauren S. with a beautiful doggy. That's so cute. We got somebody's trampoline. That's so much fun. I'm afraid of these things now, so no thank you. But Minnesota Twins, Kepler, I think this is from Max. So he's just missing sports, are currently on hold right now. So missing spring fever with baseball season would normally be coming up here. We've got video gamers playing video games. Awesome, thanks. Kitty, 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 kitty. We got someone doing a backflip. I'm up to jumping on my trampoline and learning new skills because it's a way I can get outside, but also stay away from people with social distancing. Good job. Love it. Nick Perez from the 7th grade had this taken apart last week. I showed it to you with the whole front end taken apart. It's up and running. Great job, Nick. Ethan he's got a pet rat. I used to have a pet rat. They're so cute and fluffy. Awesome. Maddox, 6th grade. Great job. Nice to see you. I do all my homework, get up in the morning. He's got a routine, and then he plays video games, but gets outside mostly, he says. We got video games. People are into their gaming. So those images were from Lauren S., Maddie, Max, Rogelio, Ella, Olivia, Nick Perez, Maddox, Ethan, and Noah. Thank you so much for participating in our first show and tell. Remember, I've got a new link up for week 3. I will like to get a bunch of pictures I'll try to split them up for the week, and then I'll get you some images for day 2 video. So if I get some people participating in that the first couple days, I'll get the slideshow set up for our next round as well. I'd like to also shout out, I've got a Cougar Cash here with Silas's name on it from the 6th grade. There you go, Silas. That one's for you. I'd like to call you out. Not only I already did shout you out for giving us this book, Bears of the Ice, but I think you've done an outstanding job with troubleshooting your technology issues. We've all had issues, but I think you've gone above and beyond with contacting Mr. Adi, contacting me, contacting your other teachers. I know I saw you do a group message out to all your teachers asking about how to improve your grades. So I think you're really taking to distance learning, troubleshooting your problems. So thank you for being awesome through this really challenging time of education. All right, that's that. Don't forget. Oh, with show and tell, that assignment, it's not graded. I got a lot of other people just typing responses. That's fine. I'm not going to share those though. That space is really, and that assignment is really just for pictures that we want to see for purposes of just sharing and connecting with each other. So share those pictures. Remember, and as a reminder, you can't have personal data like addresses, credit cards, phone numbers, anything that would be considered personal data privacy stuff. And that's that. All right, let's continue on with chapter 21, Bears of the Ice. Snow had collected on the downwind side of the pressure ridge, sculpting the edge into waves. The never-moved star was in the place it should be, and the twin stars, Jite and Stellan, were scampering off just ahead of the star called Sfree. With the reappearance of these stars and with the additional help of the red band timepiece, the Cubs knew they were going in the right direction. They had hauled the seal to a snug beneath the pressure ridge, where they had dug out the snug even deeper. It was cozy and protected them well. As they settled down, their bellies full, they were ready to hear Third's story. Jite looked at Third, tucked in the crook of Stellan's arm. He was so tiny. How had he survived long enough to get to that place near the river where they had found him? So she kicked you out of the den? Third hesitated for several seconds before nodding. But it wasn't just about milk or fighting fighting for my share. He paused, tears brimming in his eyes. She yelled a lot. At you? Stellan asked. Yes. Why? She was scared of me. Stellan stared at Third with confusion. What? Why? How could Taka be frightened of this little cub, the weakest of all her cubs? Was there something that he and Jite were missing? Scared of you? But you're so tiny and powerless, Jite added. There was another long pause. It seemed that the words Third was trying to summon were falling away before they reached his mouth. I'm not exactly powerless. I do have certain powers. You do? Stellan said. I think Mom knew it before I did. I have these dreams at night, strange, scary dreams. The words now came out of Third as in a rush. I guess I would mostly mumble, but sometimes I'd cry out. Mom would just shove me out of the den, and my dreaming became even stronger. I realized that the dreams that were the scariest weren't my dreams at all, but my mom's. Wait, Stellan said. A sudden queasiness seized him, as if he had eaten rotten blubber. You could see your mum's dreams? It's hard to understand, but it was as if I was inside my mom's head, and I'll tell you, it's an evil country. I can't call her mom anymore. Inside Taka's head, she's not right. He can't call her mom? Stellan thought. How terrible for a little cub to even have to say this, let alone have to wander through the evilness of his mother's twisted mind. It took me a while to understand that the dreams weren't mine, but hers. It was where I learned the words TikToks. What did you see in her dreams? Jite asked. I saw blood and fur on something called a wheel that had teeth. Stellan began to tremble, but said nothing. I saw something that looks like a bit like this. Third reached out and touched the red band timepiece suspended on the chain hanging from Jite's neck. She jerked back. But the one I saw was huge. And what about the TikToks? Stellan asked. I'm still not sure, but I know it means something terrible and that I was going to become one. That was Taka's plan. I heard her talking to my brother. What did she say? Stellan asked. She said that I was freakish, a freakish little thing, and to stay away from me when we were allowed to play outside in the snow. She said my brother would never win a game with me because I have something she called second sight. I think she was talking about the dreams. But how did you know that you had to leave? Stellan asked gently, trying to hide his growing horror. I had a dream the night before. It was truly my dream this time. Two huge bears came and carried me off, all jolly, telling me, you'll like being a TikTok. TikToks will become your best friends. And suddenly, I was in a terrifying place. There was this enormous tower made of ice, and I don't know how to describe it, except to say, Third's eyes rested against on the red band timepiece. I could see right through it, to its very beating heart, and I saw these little cubs walking on the wheel I just told you about with the teeth. If the cubs missed a step, it devoured them, and I think they are what's called a tick-tock. So you left, Stellan said, as fast as I could. But how did you ever find us? Jide asked. Good dreams, I think. I dreamed of you two in warm, cozy things. I never thought I could really find you. Third pause. I suppose it's all because of good dreams and good luck. Where did the luck come in? Jide asked. I stumbled onto some jumble ice. That's where I fell asleep the first night. And then I felt this huge jolt that woke me up. The jumble, the jumble ice I had torn apart, I was floating. The current was rapid. I didn't have much choice. I couldn't jump off. I don't know how to swim, so I stuck with it. I'm not sure how long. What did you eat? Stellan asked. A bird accidentally dropped a fish. I ate that. That was all I had until the fish you gave me. Eventually, this piece of jumble ice bumped on a shore, and I had just enough energy to start walking. And here I am. Jite touched the red band timepiece with her paw and felt a tremor pass through her. It's as if you have a compass watch in your head. Maybe, Third replied softly. Maybe. Uluk Uluk spotted the tattered wings of the crows as the red band stained the horizon. The crows were the messenger birds of choice in Nunavik. Before Uluk Uluk had become a hermit in Winston, he had preferred blackpoll warblers, incredible flyers and navigators. These warblers outstripped the skills of the best navigators of all, the Nunavut's foxes. But the warblers had flown south and would not be returning until the dying ice moons. Uluk Uluk had sent these crows to make sure that the cubs were on a direct track for the Ublunkun and the ice clock. I don't know if I trust this Uluk Uluk. The crows settled patiently a few feet away, perched on a trough. So, Uluk Uluk said as he picked up a timepiece and began fiddling with it. The largest crow stepped off the trough and hopped up to the bear. Uluk Uluk felt the 8 dark pairs of beady eyes focused on his paws as he tinkered with a spring he had just extracted from the balance wheel. They stick to the route north and just east of Never Moves, the biggest crow cawed. The sound was scratchy as a rusty ratchet. He always wanted to oil these crows when they opened their beaks. Another crow cawed, Tell him about the third cub! Third cub, Uluk Uluk repeated. What's this? They picked up another cub! Uluk Uluk's eyes opened wide. You don't say. I do say! The crow's voice scraped to the air. Aren't you going to pay us extra? The crow asked, eyeing the spring. This will do you no good, Uluk Uluk replied. You wouldn't know what to do with it. Are you insulting us? Asked the crow who perched next to the big one. No, not at all. I'll find a finer piece of wire for your anting. The crows adored wire for poking in holes and picking out insects. The creatures would eat just about anything, which reminded Uluk Uluk of one of their more gruesome practices, picking out the eyes of newborn foxes. They loved Kit's eyes as much as Vol's. No eye picking with the wire, though, understand? Wouldn't dream of it, the big crow said. Liar, Uluk Uluk thought. But then again, he was a liar. The biggest liar of them all. I wonder who Uluk Uluk is eyeing too. Really like the book. All right, I forgot to do this before. My next piece of sports, my next feat of sports action. I'm a hockey player too, left-handed. Here I go. My goal is to hook this or shoot this over Charlie's hand, defending hand, into my kitchen sink. I was not successful for my 7th grade video. Denied by the oven. Dang. I get 3 chances. Woo! Woo, baby! In. All right, gloat that over your 7th grade friends. I didn't get it in. I got denied 4 times. Try 2. Better practice, or practice makes perfect. Woodbury track, here we go. Here's those spikes, baby. Woo! Have fun. Enjoy Spirit Week, everybody.